Imagine you are a Titan speaker man fighting a horde of Skibidi toilets, rescuing cameramen, assisting TV men, and enduring 100 days of Skibidi attacks. Day 1, I was a Titan speaker man. I had 40 hearts and was enormous. Wow, I am so big now. I bet no Skibidi will dare challenge me in this form. I will destroy every single Skibidi out there. I was guarding the outer walls from Skibidi attacks. Our city collapsed within a week of the massive Skibidi conquest. It was our responsibility as Titans to remove all Skibidi toilets from the face of the earth. On day 2, there was a breach. A massive Skibidi toilet led a horde of Skibidi who suddenly attacked our stronghold, decimating the city and slaughtering everyone in sight. The deadly Skibidi dub-dub song echoed through the entire city. However, our fearless cameraman and speaker man leaped into the fight and defeated the monsters. The cameramen were the Skibidis' first line of defense. They were strong and fought bravely, but the Skibidis were vicious beasts and easily overpowered the cameramen. As a horde, they were a force to be reckoned with. The enormous Skibidi stood there and ordered the small Skibidis to eliminate everyone in sight. It was not even moving a muscle. Our cameramen became a victim of the Skibidi attacks, and our number gradually decreased. When the cameraman fell, we dispatched our second line of defense, the speaker man. Even though we managed to take down a few of the small skids, we were outnumbered. Suddenly, I received a call from the TV man to assist the cameraman on the battlefield. I and 2 massive cameramen dashed towards the battleground. On day 3, when I arrived on the battlefield, I was rushed by a group of small Skibidi toilets. They attacked me, but I was so big that their strikes didn't hurt me at all. I used my firepower to start shooting at the small Skibidi. Take that, and that, you tiny monsters! I launched one rocket after another and finished all of the small Skibidis. The giant cameraman came to my aid, but a group of Skibidi kicked him inside the water and immobilized him, leaving me and only a few cameramen on the battleground. It was time to face the giant Skibidi toilet. I dashed at the massive monster and began striking it with all my might, but I was barely doing any damage. What exactly is going on? What is going on? I underestimated the colossal beast. Suddenly, the big monster launched a powerful laser blast at me. It was so powerful that it ripped huge holes in the ground. Then I was hit with the most powerful laser blast. The entire city shook, and everything went dark. Day 4, I awoke inside a large crib. Where am I? What exactly am I doing here? How did I end up here? I had so many questions, but I knew it had to do with those laser bursts. It tossed me outside the city, I believe into the jungles. Man, I'm so small now. I just have 5 hearts. I have to go into the city or we're doomed. The resistance needs me. The Skibidi will win without the Titan speaker man. Day 5 to day 10, I began my journey towards the city, having lost all my powers and weapons. I chose to chop some trees and make some wooden tools for myself, so that if any Skibidi appeared, I could use my tools to protect myself. After a while of traveling, I came across a village nearby. But as I was about to enter, I noticed 4 small Skibidi attacking the villagers. Unfortunately, I was unable to save the villagers, but I decided to clear them from the village before anyone else got hurt. When I attempted to approach the creatures, they noticed me and began attacking me. Because I was so little, their attacks stung like hell, but I fought back with my wooden axe. It was difficult to fight these monsters without my gigantic size, but I eventually defeated all of them. While taking a breather, I noticed 2 Skibidi toilets surrounding a tiny cameraman. I needed to act fast, so I went to the Skibidi without much thought. After a quick skirmish, I was able to clear them and save the small cameraman.
Oh boy, I thought I was done for. Thanks for saving me, dude. What's your name?
Well, you're welcome. My name is Coco.
Oh, Coco, you don't know how happy I am that you are lost and wandering around these woods saving strangers.
Well, first of all, I'm not lost. I just got thrown out of the city, and I'm trying to find my way back.
Man, that's bad. What did you do? Did you desert your post? Did you kill someone? Did you drop TV Man's coffee? The last one will definitely get you thrown. Hey, where are you going? Tell me.
Despite the unpleasant company, I started my journey back to the city. On days 10 to 20, we crossed through the woods and finally reached the outer walls of the city. The walls were created for a dam project many years ago, but they now help to keep the Skibidis, and by the looks of it, us out.
Hey, my name is Tiny, by the way, and thanks for asking. Whoa, that's some big ass walls.
At this point, we had only 2 options. Option 1, somehow climb the 100-foot wall, or option 2, travel through the Skibidi infested tunnels. Well, tunnels it is. When we were about to enter the tunnel, a Skibidi jumped out of nowhere.
Whoa, kill it, man.
What does it look like? I quickly took care of the monster, and it dropped a gun. Thank God, it was exactly what I needed. Day 20 to 25, we continued our journey through the tunnels with the tiny annoying cameraman following behind me. When we entered the tunnel, it was pitch black, and there was a warning sign at the entrance. It did not appear to be a welcoming environment. When we were almost halfway into the tunnels, a number of Skibidi emerged from the darkness and began making their way towards us.
Man, do something, because my anxiety is through the roof.
I started shooting my gun at the toilets. There were a lot of them, but I didn't give me much thought and I went on firing. One after the other, I eliminated all the monsters. That was a scary experience. Let's never do that again. We saw the light. Thank God we were safe now. It was getting late and the sun was about to set. We needed to find a place to take shelter or we would be doomed. All of a sudden, I felt a surge of energy rushing through my body and I transformed into a big speaker man. My hearts also went up from 5 to 10. Yes, I am powerful now. After walking a few blocks, I saw a car.
Hey, look! We don't have to walk anymore!
Quickly, me and Tiny jumped inside the car. Lucky for us, the car had some battery left. We started cruising on the city roads. After driving for a while, I saw a place where we could spend the night. I scanned the area, and thankfully, there were no Skibidi within. After settling down, we called it a night. Back at the Resistance base, TV Man was concerned about my safety, and he had been attempting to contact me since that day.
Titan Speaker Man, come in. Titan, come in. This is your leader. TV Man speaking. If you can hear me, come to the base. We need you here. Over. Titan, can you hear me?
Hi, sir. This is Titan speaking. I am safe, and I am traveling back to the base, sir. Over.
Thanks to God, you are alive. I will send my men to collect you. Stay put and stay safe.
On day 30, we woke up super early and we were about to leave the place, when suddenly I heard a loud explosion sound. When I peered outside, a giant Skibidi and its minions were standing outside. They blew up our car. They must have followed us here. Suddenly, 2 Skibidi burst into the building. They were looking for us. I went after the 2 toilets. Now that I was a big speaker, I could use my sound abilities. I used my sound power to defeat the 2 Skibidi. When they died, they left behind 2 guns. Yes, we can make use of this. Outside of our house, the lethal Skibidi dub-dub song echoed. When Tiny and I went outside, the entire place was on fire. When the toilets noticed us, they began charging towards us. I started spamming my gun without much thought. Take this, you creepy monsters! One after the other, Skibidi fell victim to my attacks. To weaken the Skibidis, I also used my soundwave attack. I fired at the big one after defeating all the small Skibidis, but nothing happened. It didn't even faze the monster. Run, Tiny, and don't look back! The giant Skibidi pursued us, but we jumped off the bridge and avoided the monster. On days 30 to 40, we traveled inside the jungle towards the Resistance base. Finally, we arrived near the base. The Resistance base was built inside a giant meteor crater. It was so deep that if any Skibidi tried to jump, they would fall to their deaths. When we arrived near the Resistance base, I saw so many Skibidi monsters trying to get inside the base. We have to avoid all these monsters in order to get inside. Tiny, don't make any sudden movements. Let's be quiet. When we were trying to be quiet, the Skibidi monsters saw and attacked us. Well, there's no point in being quiet. I started fighting with the monsters, and Tiny helped after staying with me for quite a while. He was also getting brave. We defeated quite a few, but there were so many Skibidi toilets trying to enter the base. I don't think we can defeat them. We have to run. We started running and we entered the base entrance. The Skibidis chased us inside, but we escaped and entered the base via a secret tunnel. We can now see light. Come on, Tiny, let's go. Just as we were about to reach the base, a massive Skibidi toilet appeared out of nowhere. It lowered over and blocked our route. From days 40 to 45, we were attempting to enter the base when the enormous Skibidi suddenly attacked us with its fire explosion. The flushing noises it made sent shivers down my spine. We had no choice but to confront the monster. I charged at the creature, using my soundwave assault on it, but it had no effect. I started firing my gun, but nothing happened. The beast suddenly leaped on us. We began to run. It seems like all hope has been lost. We are about to perish.
Coming in, TV Man to Titan Speaker Man. Your backup has arrived. Over.
We could hear troops approaching from behind us in the distance. We noticed a troop of TV Man soldiers had arrived on our left. Thank you for your assistance, sir. The TV Man army collectively began firing at the giant beast. It eventually became weak, but just as we thought it was finished, the Skibidi utilized a signal jammer and took over the TV Man's transmission, disrupting their circuit. Their screen suddenly flashed red, and they began pointing at us. Guys, what are you doing? Why do you have your sights set on us? I am Titan Speaker Man. They appeared to be corrupt. When the corrupt TV Man began shooting at us, we had no alternative but to fight my fellow brothers and sisters. I started firing at the TV army. I was successful in killing a few of the TV men, but I didn't want to engage in combat with my fellow soldiers, so we opted to flee instead. We were almost half the height from the base, but jumping would be extremely dangerous. Tiny, we have to jump!
Are you crazy? We will die!
Do you trust me? Run with me! Without wasting any time, me and Tiny started running towards the exit. When we reached the edge, we jumped. However, just as we were about to fall to our deaths, I activated my sonic boom and cushioned our fall.
Whoa, that was some quick thinking.
It had been 50 days. At long last, we made it to the base of the Resistance. The whole crew was putting in a lot of effort.
You're finally back. Son, I am overjoyed to find you in good health and safety.
Thank you very much, sir, for sending over the backup.
I am glad, but it was a tragedy that our fellow soldiers fell to the trickery of the giant Skibidi. You must be exhausted at this point. Get some rest.
Days 50 to 65, I stayed at the base, regaining my strength and building a strategy to defeat the toilets. With the support of the resistance, we analyzed their patterns and weaknesses, determined to overcome this new threat.
It's time, son. We have to get you to your Titan form. You are the only one who can defeat the Mega Skibidi Toilet, the biggest monster and the source of all our problems.
Days 65 to 70, the TV man prepared the machine to convert me into the Titan speaker. Finally, the machine was ready, everything was in place, and the countdown began. As I stepped into the chamber, the transformation was intense. I became the Titan speaker man, but something went wrong. I was still normal size. My power grew, but I was still not the Titan. The TV man turned the machine on one more time. Finally, I transformed into the Titan, but for just a few seconds. Something is wrong with the machine. I exited my transformation chamber to speak with the TV man. The TV man explained to me that my transformation energy core had been damaged during the battle and that I needed a new core to transform into the Titan. The only location where we could find a new energy core was the Skibidi factory, where the Mega Skibidi is making all the Skibidi toilets. From days 70 to 78, Tiny and I went to Skibidi factory to get the energy core. The path was not easy, and we had to be very careful not to draw any unwanted attention to ourselves. We eventually arrived at the Skibidi factory. The monsters had taken over the old greenhouse. This was the location where all of the monsters were created. It was the most dangerous area, so we had to be extremely cautious. The Mega Skibidi was not present when we arrived. Only 2 large Skibidis were present. I was only half as strong as before, so I could now take on these massive beasts. When one of the big Skibidi saw us, he let out a roar, and all the small Skibidi attacked us. However, at this point, I had easily defeated these bothersome beasts. Finally, I charged at the big Skibidi with my sonic boom attack. It was strong, but I was stronger. When I defeated the beast, it immediately dropped the energy core. Bingo! Which was exactly what we needed. We gathered the core and fled back to the factory before more Skibidi attacked us. On days 79 to 85, we started our journey back to the base, but we had to take a different route. At that moment, we saw a group of corrupt TV men as we were climbing the space station stairs. They suddenly saw us and started attacking us. We had no choice but to fight these corrupt souls. The corrupt TV army was armed with advanced weaponry, and their attacks were relentless. The battle was fierce and intense. I used my sonic boom to knock the TV men army off balance, and we had no choice but to flee. We have to run because we can't defeat them all. So Tiny and I jumped to the side of the space station and escaped. It was going to be difficult to reach the base now that we were off path. We tried to find our way back from days 86 to 92, finally arriving on the south side of the base, but there was a huge wall protecting the base from the Skibidis. Suddenly, a horde of Skibidis saw us and started attacking us. I tried fighting, but they overpowered us. With all the fighting, I was almost out of energy, so we finally decided to flee into the woods. At this point, I had no idea how to get back to the base, and all hope was lost. But then we saw a plane. Wow, this is our lucky day. The plane was in flying condition, so Tiny and I jumped in and took off. As we soared through the sky, we were able to navigate towards the base with the help of the plane's navigation system. It was a nerve-wracking journey, but we managed to land safely back at the base, grateful for our narrow escape from the relentless Skibidi horde. The day was 94, and without wasting any time, I went straight to the TV. Sir, 1 pure energy core in perfect condition as you requested.
I'm proud of you, son. Now let's go make you a Titan.
Finally, the moment was here. After all the hardship and near-death experiences, I was about to become the powerful being I had always dreamed of. As I followed TV Man to the laboratory, excitement surged through my veins. TV Man tuned the transformation machine, and with the new core inside my body, I finally transformed into the Titan Speaker Man. The day was 96. This was time to take the city back from the Skibidi. I went to the TV Man and said, "Sir, now that my powers are back, we should attack the Skibidis at once."
You are correct, Titan. Listen, my fellow brothers and sisters, the time is now. We will take our home back. Let's rise up and reclaim our city from the clutches of the Skibidis. With our combined strength and the power of the Titan Speaker Man, we will restore peace and justice to our beloved home.
But before we could begin, a horde of Skibidis broke through the lower walls. How did they get to the lower levels? They started attacking the cameraman, protecting the base. The giant Skibidi started blasting rockets at our base. He was about to damage our resistance headquarters, but I jumped into the fight. I was a full-fledged Titan now, so it didn't take long for me to neutralize the threat. I used my Mega Boom powers and rockets to blast the Skibidis out of existence. After I cleared the monsters from days 96 to 99, we started preparing for the battle. With TV Man by our side, guiding us with his wisdom and technology, we charged forward. Within no time, hundreds of cameramen, speakers, and TV men lined up to face the Skibidi army. We used our advanced weapons and tanks to kill the monsters. Our army jumped into battle and started clearing out the small Skibidi toilets. As explosions erupted all around us, we could feel the ground shake beneath our feet. The air was filled with the sounds of gunfire and the cheers of victory as we successfully cleared out the small Skibidi toilets one by one. But the Mega Skibidi, the leader of the Skibidi army, emerged from the chaos. Towering over us, he unleashed a powerful blast of energy that sent our tanks flying and our soldiers scattering. The battle was far from over. I have to defeat this monstrosity. I charged towards the Mega Skibidi with all my might. I started hitting it with my best shots. The Mega Skibidi was strong, but at this strange timing with the Titan form, it was over for the beast. Finally, I dealt the fatal blow and defeated the Mega Skibidi. The day was 100. That day, not only did we clear all the Skibidis from the town, but we gave humanity a new hope.
Guys, if you like these videos, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.